Okay, so I know it's been a long time since I uploaded my last video on this channel. And if you have watched my previous video, you might remember that I shared how I lost my funded accounts. After that, I basically stopped uploading. Now, honestly, there wasn't some big reason behind it. Nothing dramatic happened. I didn't quit trading. I just stopped making videos. And if I'm being completely honest, one of the main reasons was that I didn't want to sit here and talk about something that I myself was struggling with. I didn't want to make videos about getting funded when I wasn't funded. I didn't want to make videos about consistency when I wasn't being consistent. And for a long time, I thought that the next video on this channel would only come when I got funded again. I thought maybe I will disappear for a few months, get funded, and then come back with a success story. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that doesn't really make sense because the interesting part isn't getting funded. I mean, it is, but more than that, the interesting part is everything that happens before that: the mistakes, the setbacks, the losses, the lessons, the days when you feel confident, and the days when you don't, when you question yourself and wonder whether you are even making progress. That's the real journey. So instead of waiting until I have some perfect results to show, I thought I would just document the process. And that's what this series is going to be. Every Sunday, I will share what trades I took, why I took them, what I was thinking at that time, and what I learned, and basically where I currently stand with my account. Just sharing the journey as it happens. To be honest, when this year started, I had a very simple goal. I wanted to get funded with 100k, and that's it. I didn't have a goal of managing $1 million account. I mean, I have, but for now, I just want to focus on 100k account. I wasn't thinking about scaling to huge numbers. I still don't think that way. I prefer looking at things one step at a time. And right now, that next step is getting funded with a 100k account before the end of the year. That's the goal. And honestly, I think a lot of people might hear that and think that's not a big enough goal. But for me, it is because I'm looking at it from where I currently am in life. I live in India, and here, if you are able to consistently make around 2 to 3% on a 100k funded account, that's actually a pretty decent amount of money. Roughly speaking, that's somewhere around $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Of course, some months will be better and some months will be worse, but that's the range I am aiming for. And where I live, that's enough to live comfortably. More importantly, it's enough to create freedom. And that's really what I'm chasing. And that is why I started trading, because what I truly wanted is time freedom. I want the ability to choose what I work on. I want the freedom to spend more time creating videos, learning new things, working on projects I enjoy, and doing things because I genuinely want to do them. I don't know if you know this, but I am also a video editor. I work with clients and I kind of enjoy that work. So it's not like trading is my only source of income. That's another reason why a 100k account feels like a realistic and meaningful goal to me right now. Now, definitely, I want to quit editing and pursue trading. But for now, I cannot do that because the major chunk of my money comes from editing. And I don't want to do editing for my whole life. I mean, I love it. I enjoy making videos and filmmaking stuff and editing, but I want to do it for myself on my own terms. Maybe in the future, my goals will become bigger. Maybe one day I will be managing much larger accounts. I don't know that yet, but right now I am focused on the next step, not the 10th step. And the next step is simple: get funded, stay funded, build consistency, and create more freedom in my life. Anyway, enough of the life update. Let's talk about where I currently stand. So, right now, I am trading two challenge accounts. One is a 25k account, and the other is a 100k account. Both of them are currently in phase 1. The 25k account is around 5% down, and I have been trading that account for almost about 3 months now. The 100k account is around 1% down, and I have been trading that account for about 20 to 22 days. Now, obviously, that's not where I want to be. I would much rather be sitting here telling you that both accounts are close to passing, but that's just not the reality right now. And if I'm going to document this journey, then I want to document it honestly, not just when things are going well, but also when things are moving slower than expected. One thing that has changed recently is my risk. After losing my funded account, I became a lot more cautious, especially on the 25k account. For quite a while, I was only risking 1% per trade. Not because I was scared to trade, but I think I was trying to rebuild my confidence. When you lose funding, it affects you mentally more than you realize. At least it did for me. You start questioning things that never bothered you before. You hesitate on trades. You even overthink about simple decisions. And every loss feels bigger than it should. So, for a while, my focus wasn't on passing. My focus was on rebuilding trust in my process. And now I am risking 2% on both accounts. And honestly, I feel comfortable with that. The goal is to take good setups and let the probability play out. And that's it. And that's actually one of the biggest things I'm trying to improve right now. Because if I look back at a lot of the mistakes I have made, most of them didn't happen because I didn't know what I was doing. Most of them happened because I got impatient. I saw something that looked okay instead of waiting for something that looked great. I convinced myself a setup was valid when deep down I already knew it wasn't. And usually those are the traits that end up causing the most damage. So right now I am trying to be very selective. If a setup is there, I will take it, and if it's not there, I am completely okay doing nothing, because at this point I would rather miss a trade than force a trade. And honestly, I think that's a lesson that keeps coming back again and again. Anyway, let's talk about this week. So this week I took two trades, one on my 25k account and one on my 100k account, and unfortunately both were losses. But let me show you on the screen that what trade I took and what are all the analytics for that. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen here, and now let's talk about what trades I took last week. Okay, so if I show you my 100k account, I had taken a total of about 4 trades in this account, and I am down minus 1%, and I'm risking 2% per trade. But yeah, let's talk about the previous week trade. What happened? Okay, so I took the trade on 12th of August. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see, the market was in an uptrend. Here it is breaking the structure continuously, and here also it break a new structure. I was looking for longs, so this was the range I was working in this week. And as you can see, there is a imbalance over here, and if you look a little more closely, you can see that here is also a little bit of imbalance. So I was looking for this area, and I drew my fib from this level to this level, and obviously my entry was at this area and my SL was here. And you can see it just stopped me out and went straight into my direction. So it was a good trade, but yeah, it is what it is. But on my 25k account, if I show you, as you can see, I took one trade and I missed one trade, which was also on 12th. So the loss was something like this. So this trade could be avoided because there was no imbalance in the first and third candle. It is kind of a B setup because the imbalance was really small between the second and the fourth candle instead of the first and the third candle. I think it was maybe a bad idea to get this trade, but yeah. So let me show you what I was thinking and why I took that trade. As soon as market came here at the 0.75 fib level, I was waiting for a break of structure, or you can say change of character, whatever you want to call it. And when it aligns with the higher time frame, like the higher time frame is bullish, and then the internal structure is also turned bullish, then I look for, yeah, so I look for this area to be traded, like this move I thought of trading. And you can see that it was kind of a silly trade, but at that moment I didn't think of that. It was my mistake because there was no imbalance here. As you can see, it was already covered. My irrational brain took over, and you can see I started looking at this level and watching out for this area. Like there was still an imbalance which market can come down to fill. So I set a limit at my 0.75 level and took a trade. And we all know how it played out. Yeah. So my first trade was this on the 25k, and when it did not work out, I was still bullish, and I took a different trade but with the same idea, which was this on a 100k account, which I have already shown you, which also just hit my SL and work into my direction. So yeah, this was something I did this week. As you can see on my 25k account, I am 5% down, and on my 100k account, I am 1% down. Yeah, so this is all the report. And yes, that's it. Two phase one accounts, one at minus 5%, one at minus 1%. Still rebuilding, still learning, and still trying to improve every week. If you are also on your own trading journey, let me know how your week went, and I'll be back next Sunday with another update. See you in the next one.